Hi guys, and welcome back to another mech tutorial. I'm really sorry that you guys had to wait so long for this one. Took a slight detour with Chaptember, as well as I was waiting for some parts from overseas, and it just took, way longer because of COVID. But not to worry, back on track, and we're gonna get right into it. First things first, I'm gonna show you one thing. I'm using a different turntable than what we used on the shoulder joint and that. This is an older style turntable, and I don't think we use them anymore in any of the Technic sets. They're just slightly different diameter. I think they're slightly larger, if that's right. No, sorry, they're slightly smaller, just a fraction smaller. And the connection method here of using this lift arm as the mechanism to attach it to the worm gear and the assembly here, it doesn't fit if you use this turntable, which is, when I was experimenting, it was really weird because I thought, it would naturally fit, but it doesn't. So yeah, it's using this turntable and not this style of turntable. I don't know the technical names, so sorry guys, but you'll see. One's got the teeth on the inside. The other thing I want to point out is you're going to use this bracket to attach it to the side of the Gundam, or the actual hip socket, because the actual pieces themselves prevent the leg from pulling out with all the weight. So these little bits here, believe it or not, act as just a natural barrier to the weight pulling the mech down. And so what it does is it just stops when it wants to do this. Because of the weight, these parts here actually prevent that. So yeah, really handy. So you're just gonna use this part and this part like this first off. Yeah, so we'll get right into it, and I've got all my pieces out. It's not going to be really neat and tidy like usual, because this one's going to get pretty messy. Thanks guys, let's get into it. So now guys, I might talk you through this part, because this part is pretty full on. There's a lot of complicated things that I did here, and there was a lot of trial and error. So I'm just going to walk you through the process that I've got now. And here, we're going to overlay that part there. Now, this part is going to be super fiddly. It's probably going to annoy a lot of you. And I wish my fingers were a little bit smaller, because it's have to be pretty nimble to get your fingers in here and do stuff. So again here. One down. I don't know if anyone else is out there like this, but I don't know. Do people get bugged by the fact that things aren't, exactly symmetrical? Like, I always make it a point to insert these bushes in a way that's totally symmetrical, and I'm sort of like not doing it here just because it's super fiddly, but usually I like to put it in super symmetrical. So just like that, right? You're gonna put this part on top here. Now what you've got here, you can use the ones that have 2 round holes, but in this instance I've run out, believe it or not. So I'm just using that. It won't make a difference for what you need to do here. And sorry, I might make that a bit clearer. There's 1 hole remaining, and you're going to insert that pin into that middle hole there on both sides, just like that. And see what I mean? You really need to be quite nimble, and it's super annoying. But there, you need to get it to look like that. You're going to put this lift arm here, and this lift arm here, just like that. What this allows you to do, it's now created this part where it's impossible if you've got something there, just like this, and you insert your pin there, it's going to be almost impossible to separate without snapping Lego. Let's take that off for a moment. So what you're going to do is insert pins like so. And sorry about the black guys. These are the ones that I ordered from overseas, and I got them at a really good price, so I couldn't resist. They're usually really expensive, and the grey I've run out, so I'm going to use these guys. I know it's a little bit harder to see, but I hope that still works. So now you've attached it like that, and ordinarily, you know, this would be quite easy to break off if you would just attach it with pins. But what you've got here is you've got this pin here, and what you're going to do is you're going to push it in like that. But obviously that can fall straight out. So here comes the really, really annoying part. What you've got to do is you've got to get a little bush like this and stick it in, and hopefully I can get it first time. Yes, just like that. And now that pin will stay in there, just like that. And so now it can't come out, right? Because it's stuck in there with that. Just get my tool so it's easy to turn. Just like that. Super strong there. Let's move on to the next part. Okay, next guys, we're going to work on the double synchronized turntables. And this is not that tricky, but there's a lot of trial and error involved, believe me. So let's get stuck into it. Now you're going to want to do it in this order, guys, because it gets it's one of those things where you do it and it's really hard to reverse. And I've only actually built this once, so I even forget. I'm not sure even if that is a legal way of getting it on, but it's probably not. But that's the way you have to do it. Yes, I think it's like one of those techniques, if you do it. I'm pretty sure I could reverse that, but not completely sure. Never tried. guys, we've done all that and they're almost identical, but you'll notice that you should have offset blue pins, right? So you've got 4 in the corner here, and then you've got 4 in the inner holes there. And what they should do is they should fit together with the middle assembly that we just built. So here, what we're gonna do first, and the most important thing is make sure everything's lined up as straight as you can get it. Yeah? Push, just like that. So again, make sure this is turned. Don't have it offset. Just make sure it's square as possible. Just like that. Snap it together just like that. And hopefully, yeah, these are all lined up. So now what you have is, if I get my tool, and you turn these, the 2 of them are fully synchronized, just like that. And this actually feels heaps smoother than the one I actually have on the Gundam. And like I said, it's because it's new. So now what we're going to do is we're going to attach it to the other assembly here, this way, and try to attach it like that. And again, you'll see it's really, it's hard to visualize now, but we're going to get some really good different little attachment mechanisms, and it'll all come together. Let's go. Okay, so what we're moving on to, you're going to use these lift arms. I don't know what the technical configurations are called, but from here, you're also going to use these pins with an eye in it, right? The tolerance for these is ridiculous. They're super strong. They're really hard to pull out. So from here, what you're going to do is you're going to get blue pin, put it in the middle. And this is actually also really finicky to make sure they fit into the assembly, because you'll notice you'll need a little bit of finessing here and there to actually make them fit. But once you do, it goes in really strong, and it's really hard to get out. I think I almost had to use a butter knife to get these out of the original Gundam so I could figure out what I was doing again. Because that's the funny thing, right? I've actually only built the Gundam once. So I don't have any recorded instructions or anything like that. So here, and then we're going to do the bottom one is going to look slightly different. What it's going to do is we're going to get that. I'm going to push 2 blue pins like this. 2 black pins. For those of you who know Technic, you're probably looking at this going, oh my God, this is going to be such a punish. Just like that. Okay guys, and now this is the bottom one. And what you're going to do is, you're going to try and slot, this is going to be the hard one, because you're going to have to just roll with it as best as you can. There we go. That wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. But here, so now you've got the axis to rotate. And give me another, I'll use another tool. Now you've got the splay as well. Just like that. Yeah? Last part, thigh swivel. Let's do it. this is actually really, really weak, right? It comes straight off. So what you're gonna have to do, so we're gonna do the one last thing is just come up with a super strong method of attaching this to this part. Let's go. Now guys, I've just wanted to show you, I've got some plates attached here, some modified plates, which is like a door rail piece. And what that'll do is allow you to attach an aesthetic to it. It's not essential for this, but how I do it is like that. It's actually really complicated, and I've actually run out of inventory to do a whole breakup of that section. So rather than make you guys wait another week, really sorry guys, but you can see there how you've created a platform where you can attach either a plate or whatever suits your the taste of what you're trying to accomplish, right? So from here, before you attach that assembly, we're just going to add 4 pins here. And same again on this side. Just like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to get this in this configuration and push it down. It will need a little bit of finessing. Just like that. Same on the other side. And just like that. And now you'll see this doesn't pull out like that. And it's nice and secure. So here, if I just grab another tool, you can see how you've got a thigh swivel there, a splay there, and a rotation there. Now guys, I just want to quickly point out, when you rotate it, this will want to split with the weight, right? So what you're going to do is when you attach it to the Gundam, you've got points here and here, which will block it in, right? So you're going to have those pins with the little eye holes there on either side here, which will stop it actually wanting to split. And I'll try and get you a close up here. So here guys, you can see how these eye holes here represent the edges of the assembly. So when it locks in like that, that split that I showed you won't happen because it's actually prevents it here. So here guys, I'm going to take my updated assembly and just click it in there, and you can see how that's all clicked into place there. But what you do is you just push in these pins now on either side of the assembly, and you can see how that's now, even when I'm turning it with a bit of force, it doesn't want to split. It'll split when you break the Lego. That's when it'll split. So here, the splays here, the rotations there, and the thigh swivels there. I hope you really enjoyed that one, guys. We'll move on to the leg and the foot shortly after this. And that'll be it. And then maybe we'll do a video of putting it all back together for one last time. Thanks heaps, guys.